Looking back, the biggest takeaway for me was that the best stories come from real experiences. You can plan all you want, but the magic happens in those unscripted moments.
I'm Jason.
I'm Colton Davis. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at ATLATL Media.
I started ATLATL with the intent to make great content for great brands and have a lot of fun.
My name is Landon.
Hi, I'm Max. I'm a photographer and cinematographer that's been able to work with ATLATL Media.
I almost brought it for that reason, guys.
One morning I get an email from Jason and he says, hey, we're thinking about going on this fishing trip. We've got some brands that are on board. We're taking the Land Cruiser out to New Mexico and we're gonna do some fly fishing and we're gonna capture it all. Would you be interested? And I was like, is this real? Is this real life? And so of course I replied and I was like, yeah, sign me up, whatever it takes.
I was trying to think of something that would be an adventure and authentic, and fly fishing just fit. I like to smoke cigars. Fly fishermen smoke cigars. I like the mountains. Fly fishermen are in the mountains. We've got a Land Cruiser. Land Cruiser should be in the mountains.
Fly fishing, it's got the perfect combination of skill, patience, and nature. It's the kind of pursuit where your gear really matters. Bringing these brands along wasn't just about a sponsorship, it was about showing their products and how they fit into the environment. Boots, rods, rain jackets, food, cigars, they all became part of the story in a very natural way.
So the idea behind the trip was, I think just the fact that Jason likes to fish. And he thought, how can I make this work so that my wife will let me go and do it? And thus, the Trout Challenge was hatched.
When I got the call about a weekend in New Mexico to fly fish, and Colton was cooking, which is always a plus, so of course I had to say yes.
Colton, we should probably go down there and come out in the stream there and back cast here, up here. If we could get it up there where it would drift in front of that rock, or catch that drift coming off the rock and drift back towards us. I don't think we're gonna catch anything right here.
We got to our first spot in the river. We threw up camp real quick and we said, hey, let's go down to the water and see if we can find some fish. You know, we were eager. And we go out in the water, Jason sets up his rod and he casts. And on the third cast, he hooks a little rainbow trout. And we're like, wow, great sign, right? Third cast, we've got a fish. And then, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know if that rainbow trout went and told all of his friends what was going down in that river. But all of a sudden, you know, the fish get what they call lockjaw. And every time we pull up to a spot, we go, oh, this is the spot, right? We've got rocks, we've got cover over there. Surely there's some fish in this water. And they would throw the hook out and nothing.
My expectations going into the trip were definitely different than what happened. I spent a lot of time on logistics and preparation and destinations and areas for specific reasons based on specific trout species and probability of catch and success. That all went out the window.
biggest challenge was by far the rain. I don't think it had rained where we were at up in the high country in like 6 months, and it just dumped rain on us every single day.
That changed the trip a lot. It muddied the water and it put debris everywhere and it wet the firewood. A big part of this trip was cooking over an open flame, and that's hard to do when the wood is all wet, and it's hard to catch a fish when the fish can't see what they're biting at. I didn't know if we were fishing in a river or we were fishing in mud.
Tents got wet, clothes got wet, shoes were muddy. The rain was tough.
We just kind of had to play it by ear, say, hey, the water right now, it's not great. There's debris flowing downstream. Let's try again in the morning. Okay, it's not great. Let's try again this afternoon. That's really all we could do.
I don't know how anything's gonna see anything in this, you know?
What kept us going through it all was just the expectation that the next cast could grab a fish. If you've ever been fishing, you know what that feeling's like. So you just keep casting and you keep holding on hope. That's one of the beautiful things about fishing, is that it teaches you that some things are worth the wait, that it's about the process of learning, the experience, being with your friends, good times, good laughs. Everybody was just upbeat. We would be cracking jokes. You'd catch yourself getting frustrated and you just have to laugh it off.
The destination on this trip would have been catching 30 fish a piece, and we didn't. We caught, I think, 3-4 fish. Instead, what we did was we sat around campfires, we told stories, we had good times, we ate good food, we got to know good brands, and yeah, I'm just grateful for it. Grateful for it.
It was the camaraderie that we all had, right? All four of us in the Land Cruiser, you know, driving an hour to the next river, stream, sitting around the campfire, telling jokes. So yeah, it was the people and the brands, right? The brands being involved made it fun as well, because it was a challenge, and we say, okay, how are we gonna be able to work with this brand with it dumping rain on us right now? Or how do we work with this brand? So we went into this for the trout challenge, and the goal was to catch all 5 native trout species to New Mexico. We caught 1. So you could say that's a major fail, but again, I think we had a ton of success in what we had to deliver for the brand.
We're all working towards a unanimous common goal. And the goal was to make good content for the brands. That was the goal. While we wanted to catch 5 species of trout, that was not over creating good content. And we always kept that at the front of our mind, is like, hey, we need to get something for the brands. We need to get more good content for the brands. That was the focus, and everyone was on the same page there. And that's what allowed us to get through it despite any obstacles, despite any rain, despite any other issues. If you go through this brush, you can get down into a shallow area that's about this deep, and a lot of the drift boats are out there fishing. I haven't gone down here, but there's a big current there. And then we were back down here looking, so I don't have any good advice. So
I never have any good advice. I just go and do it.
Yeah, so
figure it out. Yeah.
Let's just go fish.
I'm just gonna try to have some fun.
The most memorable experience for the trip, for me personally, was that last night. We were tired, we were worn down, and we had some of the best ribeye steaks that we've ever had in our entire lives, thanks to Chisholm Trail Bison Company.
Dude, I'm telling you, these got a little bit toasty. I left them in too long, I guess.
Sitting around the campfire, smoking cigars. It was a very rewarding meal after a pretty tough trip.
Me and Max, we were under the trees after we had set up our campsite, and we said, hey, let's go see if we can find the Milky Way. And we walked out, and as soon as we stepped out from under the trees, we're like, oh, that's the Milky Way. Because it was just clear, you know, as day, just across the entire sky. Whenever you experience something like that, you want to share it. And so it's one of the great things about fly fishing is a lot of times, you know, it's about the hiking to the trail, it's about the finding new areas, it's about, you know, hopping in the car and driving out to, you know, some creek you've never been to, or just pulling over because you saw a body of water somewhere and you want to experience it.
We encountered the obstacles and we came together as a group and we overcame them, and we still made great content. We still had a great trip, and I wouldn't change anything about it, to be honest with you.
School of Rock, one of my favorite all-time movies.
All right.
Turned it on its side, cello, you have a bass. I was trying to walk along the side of that cliff right there. It was like a 60-degree angle.
Oh, really?
I only fell 4 times. Jeez. All right, I'm going for it, boys.
Did you see the way it grabbed his leg?
No.
The whole thing like went You never stepped out of it.
I don't like that.
No. It looked like a living organism.
The lesson learned is that life is our story, and the good and the bad needs to be told. We're in a day and age where AI and all these different brands are pivoting towards faking it and being inauthentic. Colton and Jason, they went the opposite direction. When everybody else is getting more and more disingenuous, they did something real. We were knee-deep in mud and knee-deep in water and rustling through the brush. That's when the best content is made, in my opinion, because there's a memory behind it. There's a story behind it, not just prompt in ChatGPT.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the cloud.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always about the destination, right? Typically it is about the journey. Bonds are made, gear gets tested. Sometimes gear fails, sometimes you fail, but that's where we learn.
Often you'll hear of mountaineers, they're gonna climb Mount Everest. Well, it's not about getting at the top. It's about everything you go through to get to the top. And then, even more importantly, to get back down and have some fun on the way.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
It reminds me of a saying that one of my favorite football players, he would always pull through in games. He was like Mr. Reliable. And he would say, the secret's in the dirt. And so for us, the secret was in the water. It may be bad. I may be stuck in the mud right now, but if I can just push through to the other side over there, I know there's gonna be some fish in those waters.
Here we go.